Hi, friends. I have a book for you called The Boy Who Cried Bigfoot. The Boy Who Cried Bigfoot by Scott Magoon. The Boy Who Cried Bigfoot. This is the story of my friend Ben and how we first met. This is Ben. Ding, ding. He's off riding his little bike. It looks like his doggy's with him, and he's got a cool bell on his bike. Ben liked to tell stories. Look, everyone, it's Bigfoot. Do you think that's a true story right now? His doggy's looking all around, but his face looks a little sneaky, like he's just making up a story. Wah, wah, wah. And his little sister says, well, I don't see him. He liked to tell stories. Look at that. A lot. Bigfoot. But if you look really closely in this one, you guys, even the dog's not believing him now. Do you see the dog's face? He's like, I don't think so. All that practice made him a pretty good storyteller. And he looked like this, and he sounded like this. I'm not sure his family's believing him anymore. Too many stories. He even used props. What a tenacious little fellow he was. Do you see what Sneaky Ben is doing? Look at that. He's making it look like Bigfoot foot tracks. Do you see the footprints on the ground? But really, he's making them. Oh, that was sneaky guy. People came from all over town to see Bigfoot. They waited and they waited, but the creature never appeared. He walked right through here. See? After many hours with no sightings, everyone suspected that Ben had made it all up. Bigfoot isn't real. He is real. His feet were this big. He was right here. I saw him. Well, Ben is a little grumpy that everyone left and no one believed him. And his doggy looks a little frustrated. Crick. Oh. Look at that. There is a sound and it's coming from the woods. And Ben's eyeballs are like, oh, what was that? Even the doggy is like, what is happening? I don't remember crossing paths with you, Littlefoot, I said. I don't normally talk to a Littlefoot, but there is something about this Ben I like. He was a determined fellow. I also liked his bike. I asked, mind if I take it for a ride? Bigfoot? Look at Bigfoot holding that bike. Bigfoot! Bigfoot! Bigfoot is stealing my bike! Come with? He's asking the doggy, do you want to come with me? Look at Ben is really screaming those words so loud. Do you think people are going to believe him again? Or do you think people are all done believing his stories. And my dog! Look, the dog is going off with Bigfoot for a ride. They're like, see you later. Ben is really screaming. Alas, no one believed Ben anymore. No one came running. It seemed Ben found being alone to be a little bit scary. Do you see that? These words. Over here it says, ding, ding. I remember those words. I have a feeling it's his bike. Fortunately for Ben, he wasn't alone for long. Ben, where are you? Come home. It's time for dinner. And it was time for me to go home too. Bigfoot's got to go home too. I'm sorry I created such a ruckus, Ben said. But I really did see him, Mom. Oh, Ben, she said, let's go home. Do you guys spy Bigfoot? I feel like he's peeking out from behind the trees. I think the little sister sees. Look, her big eyes are looking up over here at this eye. But I don't think Mommy and Daddy believe. So Ben and his family went home and had a hot meal. I don't know what a hot meal is, but I do know that Ben learned the importance of always telling the truth. And he wanted everyone to know when he had really seen me. So the next morning, he set out to prove it. What a tenacious little fellow he is. He's got a camera this time. He wants to be able to record it and show people that he really did see Bigfoot. And here's some footprints at the ends. So friends, sometimes authors write stories just for fun. They're just fun, made up, silly stories for us to enjoy. And sometimes authors write stories to help us learn a lesson. And the lesson in this story is about being honest and always telling the truth. Because when you start doing what Ben did and making up stories, then no one knows when to believe you. Even the people who love you most and so want to believe you won't know if they can really believe what you are telling them. So the author's lesson in this story, The Boy Who Cried Bigfoot, was to remind us the importance of being honest, because even at the end of the story, when Ben did see Bigfoot, his family didn't believe him because he had made up stories so many times before. So friends, remember, even when it's hard, even when you're worried you might get in trouble, even when you're worried you're going to make somebody feel sad or disappointed, it's always better to tell the truth. It's always better to tell the truth. And when we tell the truth, that's when our grown-ups can help us. If we've made a bad choice or we've made a bad decision, they can help us make things right again. So that was the story, The Boy Who Cried Bigfoot. I hope you enjoyed it.